What's up, fam? This is your boy ELJEFE, and today we're going to be doing something a little bit different because today we are talking about the Helm Audio DB12 AAAmp. Now, if you're interested in checking this out for yourself, hit the link that I'm going to leave right in the description box down below, and that'll take you over to the website so you can get the latest updated pricing. Now, before we go any further, and for full disclosure, because I like having transparency and honesty with my viewers, Helm Audio did reach out to me. They sent over this review sample for my honest opinion and review. And if this is your first time here and maybe you're not familiar with the way that I do things on this channel, whether I go out and buy the product myself or if a company sends it over to me for review, I'm always going to keep it 100% real with you and let you know whether or not it's worth your hard-earned money. Now, no money was exchanged between me and Helm Audio in order to make this video, so they're going to be watching this review at the same time that you are. Now, I'm not going to sit here and go through a whole spec read on this AAA amp. I'm going to leave a link to the exact one in the description box, so if you want to go through all the specs and all that, feel free to check that out. So first up, what are the use cases for an amp like this? So basically, it's going to be something with a weak 3.5mm jack. So devices like, cell phones, tablets, laptops, things of that nature, even your PC if you don't have good onboard audio. Now, just in time for the making of this video, I did just receive the Google Pixel 4a, hashtag Team Pixel. So this thing does have a headphone jack, albeit it's a very weak onboard DAC. So this is the type of device that would greatly benefit from using an amplifier such as this. And the reason that you would want to use something like this is if you want to run some more audiophile or some higher resistance headphones. So something that's a little more higher end, like your Sennheisers, your AKGs, your Fostex, what have you, even like your Audizies or Planar Magnetics, things of that nature. So if you want to enjoy some improved audio, then this is an easy way to go ahead and do that. And the fact that it comes in such a small form factor makes it very mobile. So you can have it here for home use, or if you're out on the go and you want to run it with your phone, you can totally do that as well. So first up, let's talk about the controls. So these have 3 buttons right on top, 3 very tactile buttons. So one's a plus, one's a minus, and those are going to be your main volume control. Then you have the center button, which is multifunction. A single click is going to give you a play pause, a double click is going to skip track forward, and a long press is going to bring up your assistant of choice. For me, it's going to be, the Google version of an assistant, so that's the one that I like to use. And it works very, very well. I like the fact that as soon as you plug it in, it takes over the controls, whether or not you have the amplifier itself turned on. So that's a nice feature to have. Now, next up, let's move over to the battery. So they were claiming 6 to 8 hours worth of battery life on this amp on a single charge. In my own personal testing, I managed to pull 7 hours and 10 minutes of normal use. And then with the bass boost turned on, I managed to pull 5 hours and 44 minutes. So overall, still very, very good. Most people probably aren't going to be listening to their headphones or anything like that for that extended period of time, but it's nice to know that you don't have to charge them up all the time. And then as far as charging the device itself, they do use a USB Type-C port. Now, before we move into the next section, I'm super curious and I have a question for you. What kind of wired headphones are you using? So do you use in-ear monitors? Do you just use the wired earbuds that came with your phone? Or are you using something more audiophile level, like some nice headphones, some nice cans, whether they're open back, closed back, planar magnetic, electrostats? Let me know in the comment section what kind of headphones you like to use, or which ones are your favorite ones. Hit me in the comment section. So now let's transition over to the power of this device. So this is giving you a 12 decibel volume boost. So that's something that you do have to be careful with depending on what kind of device you have connected to this amp. But overall, it is very clean and it is very transparent. And by transparent, I mean that it doesn't color the audio in any way. So you are getting that volume boost, but there's no distortion. It is very clean. And that has to do with the THX AAA amp that's built into this small amplifier. Now, this is super impressive because sometimes you'll get an amplifier that'll either sort of change the way it sounds, either add warmness or kind of change the EQ a little bit. There's none of that here. It is fully transparent, and that is quite impressive. Also, when you're pushing this up to higher volumes, which I don't recommend, but if you push this up to the highest volumes, there is no distortion. As far as any of the headphones that I tested it with, I didn't sense any type of distortion whatsoever. So huge kudos to Helm Audio and THX for setting up something like this. And then on top of that, they also have a 6 dB bass boost. Now, this is something that I was very, very intrigued by because I was thinking, as soon as they put a bass boost in, it's going to change the EQ. It's going to sound really weird, or it might sound muddy like you've heard on maybe some other amplifiers out there. With this one, it is very clean. They only bring up the bass and the sub bass, but it doesn't muddy up the mid range, and it doesn't muddy up, the treble or any of that. You still maintain that clarity level. So it does make it a warmer sound. So there is a bit of an EQ type of change. It makes it a little bit more warmer, adds a little more fullness and body to the music. So if you're into that, it definitely does help. But otherwise, you can leave the bass boost turned off and you can still just have that clean overall volume boost if you wish. Now, as far as which headphones I tested this with and which ones it can drive for my collection, I was using this with my Sennheiser HD6XX, also my AKG K702, along with my Fostex TRX00. So some of these headphones require a bit more power to really get the most out of them, especially the ones with higher resistance like the Sennheisers. So with those, I do have to listen to these at a bit of a higher volume than I expected, probably somewhere around 75% total, but if I didn't have the amp in place, if I just plugged my Sennheisers directly into this Pixel 4a, even at max volume, it would sound almost like you only have it at like a third volume or something like that, like very, very low. So it is quite impressive, the fact that I can actually push those headphones to the max. And then with my Fostex, good God, with the bass boost, these things were shaking. The bass was shaking in my head. So this is something that I am like truly impressed. I actually had to let my wife hear it, and she was like, what the heck am I listening to? So very impressive as far as such a small amplifier is concerned. Now, as far as running these with in-ear monitors, I will stress some caution. For my in-ear monitor collection, I'm probably using these right around 20 to 30% volume. Anything beyond that, and it's just far too much power. So this is something that I want to stress because these are some major volume steps. Depends on your phone. My Pixel 4a has about 15 volume steps. So every time that you click that switch, you're getting a big jump in volume. So you have to be very careful. Max volume to holy crap, that hurts my ears is only one click away. So I stress caution if you want to run this little amp with your in-ear monitors. Just be careful. Now, as far as my music experience and watching video. So with music, excellent. It's giving you more of what's already there. It's cleaning it up, it's giving you the extra volume, and then if you need a little extra bass, if you're listening to hip hop, trap, or any of that stuff, or you just enjoy a warmer or richer type of sound, you can definitely hit that bass boost and get that improvement that you're looking for. As far as, watching movies and any kind of action, that's where I really recommend using the bass boost because it adds so much more richness and so much more impact. So if there's like car crashes or explosions or anything like that, it is so much fun to listen to, especially with the right set of headphones. And then as far as gaming, that also applies to gaming as well. If you're going to be playing any kind of like first-person shooters, or like I like to play some racing games with it, much more fun with that bass boost turned on. Trust me, as far as that's concerned. Now, do I recommend you go out and check out the Helm Audio DB12 AAmp? Absolutely. Now, mind you, this is not going to be a device for everyone. Not everyone is looking for a small mobile amplifier that can supply this level of power or are willing to pay the price required. Now, for those of you who are in the market for something like this, who are looking to improve their audio, whether it's a weak cell phone or a weak tablet or even like a weak laptop, then this is something that you're definitely going to enjoy. If this sounds like the right type of product for you, then I think this is an excellent choice, and it's a no-brainer if you just need that extra power, that extra clean bass, or if you just want to be able to enjoy your audiophile headphones, whether they're Bear Dynamics or Fostex or Sennheiser AKG, whatever it might be. If you want to be able to really enjoy them with a device that can't really push them, then this is definitely the solution you need.